Yes, those those patterns, of course, are. I guess your copy has the same phrasing mark over the groups, but I think that the tempo should be a little faster, and I don't think it's necessary to make too much of the phrasing in those groups. I think it's a grouping, and not necessarily an indication that the player should break it too much. If you do, then make it less.
Okay.
But the melody itself needs a little chance to sound more, so let the tempo move along. And keep the other part incidental to the melodic line. It sounds, well, going slower makes a difference, but it sounds a little steadied instead of just moving along as a gentle piece. This is the only piece in that section of the little organ book. It's a section on, I think it's called The Christian Life. It's the only one. And it's a kind of petition. So that, a little bit more stress. Better. The ornament shouldn't sound as if it's kind of something special in the phrase. It's just a little ornament to the melodic line. But I see you approach it that way. Here it comes. And it sounds like that. So let's just let it go along easily, like the rest of it, which you do very nicely. All right, let's do this once more. Playing the melodic line, stay down next to the keys. There's no reason why the rest of your hand should be up, and it does make a difference because it sometimes puts you out of touch with the line. So stay right where you can, so that you can keep the same touch going all the way through. A piece like this, of course, is simple in a sense, not in another sense. But those little differences in the phrases should sound without being too obvious. Like this place down in here. Just take a little time with it, but not so much that it sounds as if, well, here's a place where I'm going to do this. It's going to be a little different from the rest. It shouldn't have that effect. It should, the listener should think, oh, what a nice musical effect. But it, a little broadening of the phrase. Sure. Emphasis on the upper note. Yes, when you have the passing notes, be careful about the passing note. Give it plenty of time. Don't let it be, well, that isn't. It has the effect sometimes of being tossed off a little bit instead of just being part of the same line. So it's the difference between give the passing note plenty of chance. Fine. You do that very well indeed. I think it should be bolder. It's sort of gentle. It should be, particularly the introduction, of course, where he takes the Buxtehude pattern in the pedal. Those should be exactly the same. And one is almost legato. Da 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 dum bum 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 instead of da dee dum. Be very positive. Also, you have to pretend that you're in one of those churches in Czechoslovakia where the tone has to be sent out to the listener, and that should be bolder all the way through because of that, too. Otherwise, the piece has a little effect of just going along, just pleasantly enough, but just going along. And it should have some high spots like these back here, and some of those cadences, but always aggressive in a sense. Let's try it from the beginning. See, you change your touch in the pedal. And very firm on those 16ths. Da 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 dum. You're a little too light.
Again?
Mm-hmm, please. That's better. Yeah, but it's the first note that sounds in that figuration. Bing, bing, dun, dun, dun. It's the top note that's important, not the bottom note's important, but not that important. Let's try it again. Yeah, but not legato. Same touch, but give it a little more time. Very even. Even 16ths. Da 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 dum. The fourth one is too short. Da 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 dum. It goes da da da. That's better. Now a little bit more aggressive, and you'll be fine. Yeah. But be very positive. You have to, I always used to, I don't think this is true because I finally saw a picture of Buxtehude, but I always thought he was a great big heavy man who, everything was on the big scale and there's no interfering with what he was doing. Then I saw a picture of him sitting at a table. He's just a small man. But anyhow, I guess he made that up for that in the way he wrote his music. But the da-da-da-dum-bum, it shouldn't be, these shouldn't change. You want everybody to listen. If you had people way down in the church somewhere or other and you were playing this, you'd want them to say right away, well, what's this? So do that, you're a little apologetic. Okay. Try it again. When you have that repetition in the pedal, be very quick with it, just as you are with those 16ths, because it has to be a little ponderous. Mm-hmm. Bing, bing, bing. It's because you're playing with your whole leg. That's too slow. Okay. Just use your foot. This kind of music takes that sort of aggressiveness. You're a little gentle with this piece. Bing, bing, bing. No matter what you're doing, even if it's partly legato, it's that same approach to it. You're a little too pleasant. You know, just drive ahead. Try it again. Back, fine. Yeah, just do that with your foot, though. You're bobbing up and down, and that's a waste of time. That's right. Sure. Once more. That's better. Now release the first chord of that pair, that last pair of chords. Release the first chord very clearly. Jantam. Yes. Now, without being so easy. Tum tum. No, not legato. Detached. That's better. But you're away from it. You're sort of down. It's out here somewhere, and you're back here. Get down there and get over the chord and play it with aggressiveness.
Okay.
Once more.
Here?
Mm. That's better. Yeah, that's better.